Hello and thank you for joining us for Lunchtime News on KBC Channel 1. And we're coming to you live from the Broadcasting House in Kenya's capital, Nairobi. My name is Giverson Maina and our sign language interpreter is Caroline Jeroge. Join us for the next half an hour or so for news within, of course, across the country. And of course, start interacting with the social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. And of course, mine is at Giverson Maina. And so let's get started. Treasury Cabinet Secretary John Mbadi has dismissed claims by a section of opposition politicians that the government contravened the law in the partial divestiture of Safaricom shares. Now, Mbadi says the divestiture of 15% of Safaricom shares followed a determination by the Court of Appeal that okayed the process based on the overall value to the public. Accusing the opposition leaders of playing politics, Mbadi further noted that the injunction at the High Court did not necessarily stop the process, but rather questioned its legal parameters, which he observed were met by the government according to the Court of Appeal determination. Now, according to the Treasury CS, the government will receive an aggregate of over 240 billion Kenyan shillings from the divestiture, which he says will be used to fund key infrastructural projects in the country.
We have proceeded with the process within the confines of the law. That does not take away the matter that is still before the High Court. The matter that is before the High Court is substantive matter. It is not an order anymore. The order we dealt with at the Court of Appeal, and we succeeded in getting the order uplifted, and that is why we proceeded with the process of divestiture. You cannot be president of this country by distorting facts, misinforming people, and spreading propaganda, and just criticizing and questioning every issue that comes before the public. We don't have money to do major projects. We don't have money to do JKIA. We don't have money to expand some of our roads that needs expansion and which are commercially viable. We don't have money to do irrigation or get to irrigated agriculture. We don't have money for energy, I've told you. We have to be innovative and creative.
And away from that, Wilfred Koril and Abigail Chipkemoy emerged as the overall winners of the Mau Marathon held on Friday, 3rd July 2026 in Kurisoi North Constituency, Nakuru County. Now, the competition attracted more than 2,000 elite and amateur athletes from different parts of the country, with the top performers receiving cash prizes and other awards in recognition of their achievements. Now, in its second edition, the Mau Marathon aims to promote the conservation and restoration of the Mau forest while creating public awareness on the importance of protecting the country's water towers. Now, leaders are present, led by Principal Secretary for Forestry and Environment, Dr. Festus Ngeno, praised the initiative and expressed confidence that the marathon would continue to grow in the coming years, attracting more participants and strengthening conservation efforts across the region.
Leo tulikuwa Mau na nimeshiriki mbio ya 42 kilometers na nimepatika kuwa the winner. I am very excited for winning this race.
Kitu ya muhimu ni mazoezi. Wasilusop. Yaani ukishindwa kubali mpaka tu siku yenye utaweza kufuzu.
Ana malengo ya kwenda nje ya nje, nionyeshane uriadha yangu.
Congratulations to all of us. And we are international athletes, one from Niger and Uganda. And we are races of 42, 21 and 10. And of course 5 kilometers, nisikia 5 kilometers iko famous sana.
Now, from Nakuru back to Nairobi County, where KCA University has launched a Korean language center that deepens the country's widening educational partnership with the Republic of Korea. Now, speaking during the university's 20th graduation ceremony, KCA Vice Chancellor Professor Isaiah Wakindiki, while congratulating the graduating class, urged them to lead with integrity and to regard themselves as creators of employment rather than seekers. Now, Kang Hyung-shik, ambassador of the Republic of Korea to Kenya, said the initiative will help in expanding opportunities for Kenyan students in the global market.
So we have just launched the Korean Language Center here at KCA University with the support of His Excellency, the Ambassador of the Republic of Korea to Kenya. What it does is to give our faculty and our students an opportunity to interact with Korea more.
Language is not just communication tool, but also the very important mechanism to understand the other cultures and its core values and make the peoples around the world they come closer, they make friends, make connections.
To health matters now, more Kenyans are expected to access a private health insurance after a local health insurance company introduced a flexible premium payment model that allows customers to pay for cover in monthly installments instead of an annual lump sum. Now, the initiative targets uninsured households, families, and small businesses. The Linda Afya Leo Lipapolepole program by Jubilee Health Insurance is aimed at addressing affordability challenges that have kept many households and small businesses uninsured. Jubilee Health Insurance says the initiative will begin in Nairobi before expanding to other parts of the country, and it works towards providing health insurance cover to 1 million lives by the end of the year 2027.
So what we are going to be doing over these 6 weeks, we are going to be on the road, and with the ability for customers to sign up online. And as they buy the product, after they selected the product, they will select the number of installments. The client will have the option to choose anywhere between 2 to 10 installments. And while you're with them as the intermediary, they will be able to get an approval of their IPF while in front of you.
We know most of our people are just a sickness away to trouble, to poverty, and they really spend so much money on medical health care once an incident occurs. And we all know that insurance would provide support and cushion these Kenyans from that trouble.
Now, other matters now. The real estate sector has been challenged to complement the government's efforts to provide houses through the affordable housing project. According to Mivida Homes Chief Executive Samuel Kariuki, there exists a huge housing deficit, especially in the urban setups, which needs to be filled. He spoke when he handed over 120 residential units at its Amaya Block C project within the Garden City development in Nairobi City County. Now, the project is worth 8.9 billion Kenyan shillings.
We are happy and we pray that the phase is coming ahead. Let's continue building the Amaya and Vivida family.
Of relationship we are looking at. Yeah, in fact, we like to say we've invited you to the MI Club. It's a long-term relationship. We want to be your investment partner of choice when it comes to real estate investments. This year, in addition to these 120, I'm looking forward to handing over another 466 also home. These are 1,300 households, 1,300 investors, 1,300 families to whom we have kept our promise.
Now, youth in Africa have been challenged to step into leadership roles as well as drive the sustainable economic growth and the social landscape of the continent. Now, speaking in Nairobi during the 55th graduation ceremony for Kenya's pioneer cohort of 2026 from the School of Politics, Policy and Governance, the youth were urged to rise to the challenges and be ready to serve the continent. Now, they further urge youth to forge a new generation of servant leaders who are ready to transform the continent's governance and also to dismantle historical challenges by the youth.
I expect from the 55 students that have graduated today to come into the arena of politics and start transforming. They will embody the values that we have been taught by our dear founders and the faculty that have taught this pioneer class. This is a seed that has planted. This is just the first cohort. We're expecting applications to increase in the next years, running up to the elections and beyond, because this is not about getting into power. This is about serving people, having the right character to serve the people.
Wherever these will be serving in any station of life, they should exhibit those attributes that we give them. Because fighting in your corner, you bring about change. They should exhibit competence. They should exhibit character and a capacity to govern well.
What we basically do at the SPPG is that we take Africa's top talent in any country. We take the top talent in the business sector, in the private, in the professions, whether they are lawyers running their firms, and we train them. So basically, we're training Africa's most intelligent class to become ethical and become much more competent, and then we're asking them be in politics. So they are going to be fine.
Congratulations, Pioneer Class of 2026. Go forward, lead with character, serve with humility, build sustainable institutions, strengthen democracy, transform your country, and together help to transform our continent.
And now, Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki says President William Ruto will assent to the Cooperatives Bill within the next 1 month. Now, in a move aimed at enhancing transparency and accountability in the cooperative movement, the DP said with the bill in place, the cooperative space will be safeguarded, hence delivering a greater value to members.
The 104th Ushirika Day celebrations were marked in Nairobi under the theme Building Bridges, Cooperatives' Resilience for a Peaceful World. Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki said the government is fast-tracking the Cooperatives Bill to ensure it is assented to within a month.
The next, under 1 month, the President will have assented to the new Cooperatives Bill so that we can modernize this sector, improve transparency, improve governance, help cooperative societies to be more digital-driven and more inclusive.
According to the DP, the bill is long overdue and will protect members from recent cases of mismanagement, while at the same time strengthening cooperative societies as key pillars of grassroots socio-economic development.
Tunaiharakisha ili tusaidie kuhakikisha kwamba mashirika yetu yote yanasimamiwa vizuri, yanafuatilia kanuni nzuri na yanaweka mahitaji ya wanaoshirika mbele, kwa sababu sheria ambayo tuko nayo ni sheria ya zamani.
And as soon as we have the new Cooperative Act, there is proper alignment between the responsibilities between the county government and the national government.
When this bill comes into place, it will strengthen cooperatives, make it more resilient, make them more stable, and improve on the cooperative governance.
And I want to assure Kenyans that most of us as SACCOs were able to go through the bill, and I believe that what we discuss as a movement is what is going to come out.
The Deputy President also announced plans by the government to allocate more funds to the Ministry of Cooperatives to encourage more Kenyans, especially the youth, to join cooperative societies.
The resources that the National Infrastructure Fund is mobilizing will help us offload pressure on budget, creating more resources which can be applied to other sectors, including this sector.
He cited the vital role cooperatives continue to play in improving livelihoods. 14 million Kenyans are members of cooperative societies. Out of this number, 8 million are members of SACCOs.
We have seen the changes that the Asina SACCO has made to these families across the country. We have seen the agricultural development. We have seen members developing in various ways.
Nancy Okware, Lunchtime News.
Another story from Nancy Okware takes us to a very short commercial break. Don't go too far. There's still so much more lined up for you.
Umechoka kutumia links za kukwama? Cheki, free rewards ni hatari.
Bro, ulikuwa unatumia wrong link na wrong info. Unahitaji info sahihi na link sahihi.
Ni time ya info sahihi. IEBC Continuous Voter Registration iko live. Mistari ndefu Z, hakuna cha wrong links.
Main character energy unlocked. Right information, right direction. My vote is my ultimate choice.
Jisajili leo katika ofisi ya eneo bunge, kituo cha huduma au Customer Experience Center iliyopo Anniversary Towers, Nairobi. Kuwa change, kura yako ndio future yetu sote.
And welcome back. You're watching Lunchtime News on KBC Channel 1. And our caucus to promote leadership, mentorship and professional growth while strengthening primary healthcare has been launched by women in the healthcare space. The initiative brings together women from across health sector to foster networking, knowledge sharing and advocacy. Now, speaking during the launch, Public Health and Professional Standards Principal Secretary Mary Mudhoni said women who make up more than 70% of the healthcare workforce should take advantage of education and leadership opportunities to bridge the leadership gap. Now, World Medical Association President Dr. Jacqueline Kitulu called for stronger mentorship, collaboration and greater focus on mental wellness while urging women to overcome barriers that hinder their career growth.
The decisions that are made by those women. And it means better outcomes, better policies, and better care. And the evidence is undeniable because across Kenya, Kenya constitutes the undeniable backbone of our healthcare workforce. Today, you make up almost 75% of Kenya's healthcare workforce.
Can we adopt a shared advocacy agenda that transcends our individual professions? One that champions safe workplaces free from harassment and discrimination, one that promotes leadership opportunities for women at every level of healthcare, one that advocates for mentorship and career development for students and young professionals, one that supports work environments that acknowledge the realities of motherhood, caregiving, and work-life integration.
And away from that, the government has been urged to adopt a more community-driven approach in the implementation of the affordable housing program. Now, stakeholders in the humanitarian space led by Muungano wa Wanavijiji say meaningful involvement of informal settlement residents in planning and implementation will make the initiative more inclusive and ensure the units remain affordable for low-income earners. Now, the lobby says many families living in informal settlements are still unable to afford the current housing units, even as they push for increased investment in climate-resilient infrastructure and community-led adaptation initiatives in the area. Now, beyond housing, residents have decried inadequate drainage, poor sanitation, and weak infrastructure, which continue to expose them to devastating floods and other climate-related hazards.
In terms of affordability, you're getting somebody who is has been paying rent of 1,500 or 2,000. It's a little bit expensive for them. And then you are moving them to a nicer house. This is somebody who was previously selling mandazi, chako. You have not upgraded his livelihood. He's doing the same thing he was doing. Committee should be involved in the designing. Committees should be looked at more as co-producers of these projects, of these government projects, not beneficiaries.
Kwa washikadau wote tunahitaji ushirikiano zaidi. Hii hali ya mazingira ni jambo kubwa sana na inahitaji fedha mingi, rasilimali, mawazo. Tunahitaji ushirikiano kutoka kwa serikali na washikadau wote ili kuweza kusaidia hii mazingira yetu yaweze kuwa bora zaidi kwa wanavijiji.
When you look at what is required for somebody to own a social house, because it is rent to own, you find many of them still cannot be afforded by the people in the informal settlements. But it's a big effort by government.
Now let's take you to China for a moment. Now Lhasa, the capital of Xizang Autonomous Region in China, is marking 20 years since the expansion of its modern railway, an infrastructure milestone that has transformed mobility across high-altitude regions. Now it is against this backdrop that a China-Africa Railway Symposium has concluded, with the African experts calling for deeper participatory inclusion in railway construction and technical design. Our reporter Gladys Mungai, who is in China, has more details.
Lhasa, often described as a gateway to the roof of the world, sits high on the Tibetan Plateau, one of the most elevated regions on Earth, 5,000 meters above the sea level. It is here in Lhasa that the China-Africa Railway Symposium has concluded, bringing together African and Chinese experts to discuss the future of railway partnerships between Africa and China.
Historically, we have a Tazara, which was, under operation 50 years ago. This year it marks the 50th anniversary of Tazara, and also in recent years we built, the railway from Ethiopia to Djibouti, and also in Kenya it's from Nairobi to Mombasa. So surely I believe that as time goes on, that our Zimbabwe friends will have your own railway.
Against the striking high-altitude backdrop, African delegates are calling for deeper collaboration in railway construction and design, not just as observers, but as active participants in shaping railways.
But when it comes to China, we're able to see that there are new technologies that are being used to develop systems that can help you carry and run a very efficient rail network. And also we see that there are new technologies that we can help the Africa countries to develop.
Following the symposium, delegates boarded a 21-long journey from Xinjiang to Qinghai province. Inside the train, railway coaches are fitted with multi-tire bunk beds designed for overnight travel across vast distances and extreme terrain. This system allows the passengers to rest as the train moves through mountains, tunnels, and high-altitude routes. And for the African delegates, the journey offered a first-hand experience of how long-distance rail mobility is managed efficiently, combining comfort with endurance over extended travel periods. As Lhasa marks 2 decades of modern rail development, African delegates say the future of China-Africa railway cooperation will depend on one key shift: true inclusion in the construction, design, and technical leadership.
As China concludes its diplomatic meeting with African experts on matters railway, the meeting ends with one clarion call that railways are not just means of transporting passengers and cargo, but a future built for prosperity and development through the China-Africa cooperation. Reporting for KBC Channel 1 from Qinghai in China, my name is Gladys Mungai.
Great stuff from Gladys Mungai, all the way from China. Now, defending champions Argentina have qualified for the round of 16 after edging Cape Verde 3-2 in a thrilling FIFA World Cup encounter at Miami Stadium. Now, in other round of 32 matches, Egypt defeated Australia 4-2 on penalties after a 1-1 draw, while Colombia secured a narrow 1-0 victory over Ghana. In tonight's round of 16 fixtures, Morocco will face host Canada, while France will take on Paraguay.
Lionel Messi gave Argentina the lead in the 29th minute, handing the defending champions a 1-0 advantage at half-time.
To change the mood, Argentina go in front.
Cape Verde responded through Leroy Duarte, who found the equalizer to force the match into extra time. Just 2 minutes into the additional period, Lisandro Martinez restored Argentina's lead.